else? You have
Okay,
fennel?
Jeannie, the question was, how, what was the question again?
What do you have growing here,
Okay,
and what do you, what are you the most excited about?
well right now I'm trying to kill a fungus, toe fungus, that I got when I was in Japan. And I'm using the ashes from the fireplace. And then I'm rinsing my feet in this water that has willow in it. So willow is a plant that is really good at growing roots. You can cut the willow in the wintertime and stick it into the ground, and there's a good chance that it'll actually grow roots. So there's a bunch of willow trees that I planted on this cliffside because the cliffside will erode if there aren't healthy plants growing on it.
Right.
You can actually see one of the willow branches that is growing out of that stump there, right at the corner where there's the black rope, and then the black rope goes down.
Yeah, I see it.
And if you can see how thick that willow trunk is, that's because I planted that the first year that I moved here. So that was in 2014.
Huh.
Another plant here growing out of that brick, that's a cress, a type of cress. Cress plants, they have a taste like mustard, like that, you know, that strong flavor. The most vulnerable plants here are the ones that are in pots. Behind you there, you can see a few pots. Yeah, and when they're in pots like that, they're vulnerable. However, it's easy to move them around. So if I put them all together in the same place, then I only have to do watering in one place to make sure that they all get watered. Whereas if they're in the ground and they're in all these different places, it's a lot harder for me to keep them watered. I might forget. So having them in the pots, that's the nursery for the babies. And this plant is called cleavers. It'll stick to your shirt, and it's good medicine, I've been told, for people who are diabetic. You can put it in salads. And these little ones growing that kind of look like grass, those are a bulb called quetzal in the Xhosa language. The English name, or the Latin name, is Camassia quamash, and the English name is camas. And then in here there's a couple of weeds. I think these are called hedge nettle. So I usually pull those out. And then this is another cress like the one we saw before. And this one's making a little yellow flower. It's called black medic. Later on the flower will come. It's a plant that's similar to, it's a plant that is able to create homes, kind of like condominiums for, no, homes don't have to be condominiums all the time. It would be like caves. It would be caves for little bacteria to live in that are able to fix nitrogen out of the atmosphere. So like during the World War II, people invented ways of getting the nitrogen out of the atmosphere and creating bombs and blowing up people. And we don't need that. We need to grow black medic. That's the common name of it. And then this one is really good for digestion. It has a very sweet flavor, like what is it called? Licorice. It can be used in tea or fresh in salads. If you ever have a sore stomach, eating this will help. Here we have dandelions, which a lot of people know. Really good at bringing the bees and the pollinators, giving them something to eat. Some people eat the roots and the leaves. For me, they're too bitter. Ever since I was a little kid, I ate a lot of sugar. So for me, I have a hard time eating bitter plants. Over here, you have some more black medic. And the black medic, it's able to fix the nitrogen from the atmosphere and put it into the soil, which makes it available for the other plants that are growing in the soil. So this is a plant that helps the other plants. A lot of farmers know that because they rotate their crops, usually using a legume. A legume plant is a plant also that can fix nitrogen in the soil. However, not all plants that fix nitrogen in the soil are legumes. For example, I don't think this one is a legume. And another one that fixes nitrogen in the soil is over here. This tree was planted not even very long ago. Like, I think it's like, I don't know, like 3 or 4 years old or something like that. It's younger than like most of all the other trees here, and it grows so fast. And it's able to, in its roots, create that nitrogen in the soil. So it's a nitrogen fixing plant that helps all the other plants around it be able to grow. And it doesn't live very long compared to big trees. It only lives for like 30 years. So 30 years it's gonna grow up, it's gonna die, and then it's gonna fall down. And then when it falls down, it's really good for going back into the earth. It turns into a sponge. So when the rains fall in the wintertime, the soil that's full of the spongy material just soaks it up. And it's like a big sponge. And everything is, all the moisture is in the ground. And then here in this climate, it's like the Europeans recognize a Mediterranean climate, compare it to this climate, because in this climate, during the summertime, sometimes there could be 2 months with no rain. So we get really, really dry in the summer. That's why those plants that were over there, the Cotlao, they can live here through those summers because they put their roots way down in the ground, and they don't need somebody to come and water them. So this one here is rhubarb. A lot of people know rhubarb because it's in the grocery stores. And the rhubarb is going to flower. So every plant puts energy into all the parts of the plant. And if we want the plant to put more energy into a certain part, for example, the culture that I'm from eats the stems of the rhubarb, doesn't eat the flowers. So I was told when I went to the sustainable farming school to break off the flowering stems, so that will make the rhubarb put more energy into growing leaves. That being said, if I break off all of the flowering stems, I won't have any flowers, which means that I won't have any seeds. And because rhubarb is a plant that is perennial, meaning that it can grow for several years, I don't need to save seeds every year. Also, I could save seeds from one flower. So is it better to save seeds from the first flower or the last flower? Maybe it would be better to save seeds from 2 flowers, the first and the last, but I already broke off the first. So I suppose I'll stop breaking off the rest of the flowers, because it looks like there's 3 plants here. And when I have the plant database working, it helps remind me what I have to do at what time of year. So for example, if I have the plant database working next year, and I'm growing rhubarb, it will tell me, today you can plant rhubarb, and this is the window that you have to do that. Or today you can divide rhubarb. So I would dig the plants apart and then find them new homes. This is a fir tree that volunteered.
What do you mean volunteered?
The seed came from not me.
A bird or just wind?
I don't know. The parent tree is over here. I think. Unless I'm not even sure what kind of fir it is. So the Doug fir, I know the leaves on the Doug fir go all the way around the branch. And then here there's a plant that's kind of like has those kind of leaves, but I think this one is hemlock. I don't even know. I don't know my conifers very well. There's a good book to help with it, and there's apps to help with it. So unless we start using the app right now, I don't know how to keep the video going and use the app. So if we want to keep the video going,
You just keep your commentary going.
yeah.
Let's continue the tour.
So this one here is an Asian pear that it was planted here the first year that I got here. And I think it was already 3 years old in a pot. And I'd been carrying it around for all that time. And so it's had a tough life, as you can see.
Asian pear?
Asian pear, yeah.
Oh my gosh. So maybe someday it'll bear fruit.
Maybe, yeah. Because it hasn't died. It's just having a hard time figuring out how to survive. So I can relate.
And is this chicken feathers or?
This is, yes, chicken feathers. No, rooster feathers.
Rooster.
Rooster feathers. Do you know about rooster feathers?
Oh, yeah.
No, chicken. Was it a chicken or a rooster?
I think it was a chicken that we
Yeah, so I think the next level for us in our learning, because we ate it just for the people who are watching, we ate a chicken together. And how was that for you? That was the first time for you that you ate a chicken.
It was quite the experience, and it was a little tougher than what I had been used to with other chickens, with like farm raised chickens. But
Instapot helps with that, or
Yeah.
like slow cooker, like
Yeah.
pressure cooker.
but it was good though.
Okay, so I just pulled a plant out. I consider it a weed, and here's another one. So here it is, the one that I pulled out. I forget the name of this plant. So I only have a certain amount of capacity for remembering stuff. So I don't remember the names of all of the plants that are weeds that I can't eat. Then when I learn a plant that I can eat, I have more room for remembering it.
There you go.
Yeah. So that makes me think about how, like, if there's people doing things in the world that we don't like, then focus on the people who we do like, and those people who we don't like, we'll just forget about them.
Like weeds.
Like weeds. And then this plant, that's the other Asian pear.